Hey yo everyone, welcome back to Star Wars Battlefront 2. Welcome back to another Darth Maul, the Shadow Lord breakdown video, I guess you can say. Today we're going to be talking about Chapter 7 and 8. Another two banger episodes. First off, Call to Oblivion, that's episode 7. Starting off with Larson and Devon's master going through like the train area from the last episode where they Devon and Riley and Maul escaped from the Sith Inquisitor, and so Larson and Devon's master were kind of retracing their steps, kind of like, hey, this might be like the only logical like a route that they were using to escape from the Sith Inquisitor and everything. So that's kind of like how we're starting off the episode. Also, a little side note, the art style in this episode, whoever did the art, the painting or whatever it is, phenomenal. I absolutely love I love the look of this episode. I don't know what it's about or what is it about this episode, why I like it. It's just the look of everything and the feel, just pretty intense. So side note over. So Devon and Riley try to escape from Maul. They were kind of like talking amongst themselves, like, hey, we need to figure out a plan to like dip up out of here and everything. So that happened, and then after that, we had Maul and Devon and Riley having met with, like, not met, but like kind of like ambushed by stormtroopers, and unfortunately Riley got kidnapped by the Empire, so that kind of sucked. So Devon was fortunately able to escape, and she kind of retraced her steps back in the train station area tunnel system thing, and actually ended up running back into her master and Larson, which she explained, like, hey, you know, I try my best to save Riley and everything and, you know, keep him safe, but unfortunately your boy got kidnapped. Unfortunately, that kind of sucked, but it's all good, I guess. And then we kind of pan forward a little bit. Riley's being brought to the police station, I guess you can say. And Two Boots is just like, whoa, Riley, what's going on here? Like, why are you in binders, this and that? And Blake is just like, mind your business. You know, don't be meddling in shit that you don't need to be meddling in. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then that happens, and then it cuts back to Maul trying to escape. But then he is also ambushed by the Empire, because the Empire is just everywhere at this point, because the Empire being notified about Maul's presence, and Empire's just like, yeah, we're not having that, so we're just going to send everyone that we have and their mother and sister to this planet to try to take out Maul. So Maul ends up getting ambushed by the Empire, and then in the process of the Empire ambushing Maul and his group of like henchmen and group of people, what have you, geez, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm looking at my notes and I'm losing what I'm trying to say. Imperial gunship, like soldier transport ship type of thing, lands with more stormtroopers. On top of that, whatchamacallit? Oh my gosh, I totally missed a freaking... Oh my gosh, I totally skipped that. We have this new Sith Inquisitor guy, along with the other Sith Inquisitor. And I don't even know who this guy is. this I don't even know, almost like a plague doctor Sith. I don't know who he is. I mean, I am a Star Wars fan, but at the same time, I don't know too much about some of these characters. So this character might be new to you guys, but this guy is badass, and he's new to me. And he's wearing a Sith robe with the Imperial insignia on the shoulder pad area. So yeah, the one Inquisitor that Maul engaged with in episode 6 met up with, well, not really met up with, we've seen in the end of episode 6 where he's speaking to someone on the hologram, and that person in the hologram is this one other Sith Inquisitor that has this weird plague doctor mask thing on. So going back to Maul getting ambushed by the stormtroopers and what have you, the transport ships are actually also holding or transporting both of the Sith Inquisitors, and they also engage with Maul. So Maul and these two Sith Inquisitors end up having this really cool lightsaber battle. And in the background, while this is all happening, some of Maul's men are just like, you know, this isn't worth it. Like, we're not getting paid enough. So they kind of try to do a coup, and not really a coup, but they try to take Maul's ship and like fly away. And let me tell you, karma just strikes in mysterious ways, because as soon as these three individuals try to take Maul's ship and they start taking flight and flying away, more transport ships come flying in and like light this ship up with a bunch of rockets and just blow it up. And it's it was pretty funny. So while that happened, Maul kind of runs away, not really runs away, but kind of moves away from the battle and engages with both the Sith Inquisitors, and which he kind of gets a little outmatched, and he kind of gets injured with his legs. I don't remember which Inquisitor hits Maul, but ends up slicing his leg and kind of like damaging him. So kind of not really incapacitates him, but kind of makes it more difficult for Maul to defend himself. So that ended up happening, and Maul is just like, all right, guys, you got me. You got the best of me. So Maul tries to surrender and everything, and the one Sith Inquisitor is like, nah, fam, we're not doing that here. There's no surrendering, you know. And the line that sent chills down my back, that uttered from the Sith Inquisitor, is, there's no surrendering. The Emperor wants you dead. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Uncle Palps is holding grudges. But anyways, that happens. So Maul is trying to act like he's surrendering. Notice I say act. So he's acting like he's surrendering. Meanwhile, Maul's like kind of surveying his surroundings, and notice, like, obviously he's in a cave area type of thing, so he just uses the Force and collapses the ceiling between himself and the two Sith Inquisitors, which kind of obviously blocks the path between them two, and Maul ends up escaping, and the Inquisitors kind of just not really retreat, but kind of go back to wherever their HQ is, per se. So yeah, that's kind of in the gist episode 7. Very, very good episode, as in action-wise. Very intense battles. I mean, I guess you could say battles, you know, between Maul and the Inquisitors, you know, Maul's men and the Stormtroopers, the chase scenes that go on, the fighting, just this Maul show is just, it just makes me happy, and this is Star Wars. This whole show, like, this is the essence of Star Wars, and Who said it? What the heck is his name? I forgot. I follow him on TikTok and YouTube, but he was saying this feels like Star Wars. I haven't felt this excited for something Star Wars in a minute, and this genuinely feels like Star Wars. So I'm excited for next week, the season finale, last 2 episodes. Very excited to see what happens next. But anyways, next episode, Chapter 8, The Creeping Fear, as it's called. So we start off the episode with Maul kind of like waking up from the ceiling collapsing, and that kind of just like him just kind of disoriented and trying to regain his composure and try to like survey what's going on in his leg and what have you, which is severely damaged. So he's just kind of like crippled right now and limping around. And then that happens, and then we pan back to Riley, which is being interrogated by the new Sith Inquisitor. And he was just, I don't know nothing, I don't know what you want with me. So that happens, and kind of Riley just gets a little intimidated and freaked out, and he's just like, I don't know nothing. And then we pan to Larson, and he's trying to, like, I'm not going anywhere without finding my son. I'm not doing nothing. I want my son. I'll do whatever I need to do to get my son. So Larson is trying to find Riley, and Larson ends up contacting Rena, Rena contacts him thinking that it's 2B or 2 Boots, not 2B. Because 2 Boots, or he's been trying to get a hold of 2 Boots and trying to figure out where the heck Riley is and everything. Once he finds out that he's in Imperial, jail, entrapment. I don't know what you want to call it. But once he finds out, he's like, I'm not leaving, I'm not going anywhere. And then Rena calls him thinking that it's 2 Boots, like, hey dude, you finally, call me back, like, where's my son, what's going on? But it's actually Rena saying, hey, remember last episode you want to get off planet and you needed transport? Well, hey, I found some transport, and, I got you a spot, so you need to hurry up, do what you need to do, because it's going to leave with or without you. So you can either handle your business now and get it over with and get on the ship, or just stay here. So that ended up happening. And it cuts to 2 Boots sitting at his desk. Or no, not 2 Boots. Oh, I'm getting things mixed up. After that happens, it goes to 2 Boots. And 2 Boots, Larson actually calls him and kind of explains the situation. And he wants to kind of like, hey, the Empire wants me, I want my son, let's kind of like make a trade. So that ended up happening with Larson and what have you. And then further down the line, we pan back to Maul, which is having some kind of like flashback. Like, I don't know, it got me like thinking of the cave on Dagobah, like kind of like fear, or facing your worst fears, or like bad memories or whatever, because Maul kind of starts crashing out and starts having like flashbacks of Savaz Opress being killed, his family being murdered, which was actually pretty cool. You see him training with Palpatine, and also you hear little tidbits from the Phantom Menace when Qui-Gon or Obi-Wan cuts him in half and everything. So Maul is just really just like crazy tripping out and everything and freaking out, and it's just like he's realizing that Palpatine is the reason why, like, all my misfortunes, anything that has ever bad happened to me, it's all Palpatine's fault. Like, he's the reason why everything has been taken away from me, all my family, this, that, the third, it's all Palpatine's fault. So keeping that in his head and kind of fueling him to push forward with his injury with his leg. So that ends up happening, and it cuts back to Devin and the group and Larson and Riley and the Master and everything saying, hey, you know, we need to get out of here. So Devin's Master tells her, hey, you know, try to find a speeder so we can get the heck out of here. And so she goes off and does that. And then we cut back to Two Boots actually rescuing Riley. And Two Boots kind of makes it seem like he's doing like a prison transfer. And Two Boots came in clutch and actually killed 2 stormtroopers, which was pretty freaking awesome. And then it cuts to back to Larson and Devin's Master and Riley all kind of being ambushed by the Empire, and they're just like overwhelmed by troopers. And then out of nowhere, Devin comes running over stormtroopers with the speeder that she stole, and she saves the group. And they have like this epic freaking cool speeder chase with the ship she stole and the little speeder transport bike things. Stormtroopers start chasing after them, and then they end up meeting up with Rena, and while they're going down like this elevator shaft thing to meet up with her to leave the planet, Devin and her master just senses something's off, and I think Larson was like, hey, yeah, let me call Rena. You know, she wouldn't like screw me over. She wouldn't do nothing to like hurt me like that. And Devin's master's like, if you're sure, you know, are you sure about that? You know, anyone can switch up on someone. And Larson's like, you know what? Let me call her and let me see what's up and see if everything's okay. And he calls Rena, and as the master says, you know, she starts acting a little fishy. And next thing you know, the elevator, they're trying to stop the elevator, and the elevator won't stop. So they end up cutting a hole out of the elevator, and by the time the elevator gets down, you see Rena with all stormtroopers and Lieutenant Blake. And Rena, rest in peace, I think, she ends up killing a bunch of stormtroopers, and in the process she blows up the transport ship that they were going to use to take it off the planet, and just wipes out a crap ton of stormtroopers. So that enables Larson, Riley, you know, Devin, and the Master all to kind of escape the Empire. And then to wrap it up, we go back to Maul, and Maul was able to regroup with everyone. And I keep forgetting the little freaking smuggler guy that Maul captured in the like first episode actually makes a phone call, and very exciting to see what happens. He actually calls, I forgot what the hell his name is, but he's in the bad guy in Solo, and says like, hey, Crimson Dawn wants to holler at us. So I'm very excited to see what happens in the next episode, in the season finale next week. So yeah, that's kind of a little breakdown of the episode 7 and 8. Until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, may the Force be with you.
PlayStation